This part of the house, it is making me the most curious. How much are you expecting rents from this particular unit?
In the range of between 24 to 2600. For this particular unit, we are expecting rent in the range of 18 to 1900. The one that we saw, one bedroom plus den, we are looking in the range of 16 to 1800.
There used to be a garage over here.
We have closed off the garage space and converted that into its own unit.
How much of an impact this fourth unit would have on your appraisal?
It's not just the in-law suite, it's a legal unit. So you will be qualified against like 4-unit property compared to any other 3-unit property.
Definitely.
We got this property for 750,000. Currently, it looks like we are about to get almost.
All right, today is a very beautiful and exciting day. We're meeting our client Ronak here at his 4-plex investment. He converted this property from a single family home to a 4-plex. We're gonna break down on numbers, we're gonna break down on renovations, we're gonna do all things about this investment. So without wasting any time, we're already running late, so let's go meet Ronak. Ronak, how are you doing, man?
Doing great.
Nice looking. Good, man. Nice looking house. You've got a ton of work remaining. What's happening?
Well, it looks like a lot of work, but we are not far from completion. We're gonna complete in next couple weeks and just get the cash flow flowing in.
Nice, man. So let's not waste any time. Let's just go inside. Take me through the house. Let's see what it looks like.
Absolutely. Let's get in. So we're gonna start from our biggest unit. Let's see our first unit, which is a 3-bed, 1-bath.
Nice.
Completely renovated.
Is that the main floor unit?
Yes.
All of main floor?
Come on in.
Nice, man.
Welcome. So this is our biggest unit. Here we have the living room.
Nice.
As you can see, all of the windows we have replaced with the brand new Louis argan windows.
It looks like you've not done any changes to the living room. You've just upgraded what was already there. Like did new flooring, did new paint, and I believe you're putting in a bunch of spotlights in here, right?
Exactly, Utsav. So in this unit, and actually matter of fact, every unit got everything new, including the baseboard, flooring, windows, trims, doors, and anything internally that you can see here.
You've done a bunch of upgrades, but not necessarily layout changes on this unit.
Exactly. There is no layout change because we got pretty much everything and we kept everything as it is from the layout point of view.
I don't think there was a panel here before.
That is correct. This unit got 200 ampere service and a 100 ampere panel.
That's amazing.
But then we upgraded to 200 ampere service for all the units.
Wow.
And 200 ampere panel for all the units.
You also had a door going downstairs from here.
Oh yes, that is correct.
You took that one out?
Yes, we removed that door and close off that entry because we didn't need that door anymore to get into the basement. We have a separate entrance for that unit. And that's why we decided to close it off.
Nice, nice. And walk me through this kitchen a little bit. What were you thinking and what sort of idea was behind putting this kitchen over here in this particular unit, and practicality of having like features for your renters, right?
Yeah. So when we did the kitchen design, one thing that we want to have is the laundry integrated inside the kitchen. That way we save some space because obviously you need to have a separate laundry for your unit and you have to accommodate that somewhere inside your unit. And we decided kitchen is the best place because it's just how synergy between all the appliances looks like. We have the fridge right here, the stove, dishwasher, and then the laundry. So it just looks very cohesive and fits very well with together.
And so all 4 units would have some similar layout, similar structure?
Exactly.
Laundries in each one of these units?
A unit, yeah.
And all units have their own separate laundries?
Correct.
That's amazing. So Ronak, show me what else, like the bedrooms, the bathroom, and then through this process I also want to ask you a few questions about your permitting time. What sort of challenges you had with the city, right? Because I know that happens to be one of the biggest challenges that every investor faces. Plus, I want to talk about some of the renovation numbers if you have a breakdown on each of these units.
Absolutely.
Please, take me in.
So as you can see, we have 3 bedrooms, very spacious, airy and bright.
Very nice. So how was the city to deal with, Ronak? Was there a lot of challenges with the city when you were renovating this house or for permitting?
For the permitting, Utsav, it depends on the city and your designs as well. For our permit, it took almost 6 months to get it approved from the city, and that includes the delays that back and forth that you need to do between your designer and the city, and there are a lot of variables include here.
Absolutely.
For us, because we are doing heavy renovation and our services are upgraded, even the water service is upgraded, so that portion took us little longer time to get us the permit. But I think in general, between 4 to 6 months is what you are expecting to get the permit of this scale of renovation.
That's amazing. That's still not a bad timeline.
Yeah.
I would say, like, considering the scale of this project, converting it into a 4-unit property from a single family, the scale, like the timeline is still pretty decent.
Exactly.
And what was your biggest challenge while you started this project, or from the day you bought this property into like the current state it is in?
Challenges, I would say, again, tons of challenges. It's just that you need to have patience to get through all of them.
Absolutely.
But out of all the challenges, I would say managing the different trades, because this particular property, we developed it. You probably know, and your clients also know
Right.
that we run the construction company called Crispy Potato Construction. So managing the trades, having everybody on the field on the right time with the right material and the right tools,
certainly.
that is the biggest challenge usually for any construction
Most
companies.
certainly.
From the investment standpoint, arranging the funds, that is
Significant.
that's the major bread and butter of
Absolutely.
pulling off this scale of renovation and this scale of project.
Absolutely.
So financing, like when you get into such project, it's very important that you lay down the plan for your finances, how you're going to manage the construction, acquisition, and your holding. There are three main components essentially
For sure.
to this process, and as long as you have these three components line up and you are ready to go, then that's the biggest challenge you have solved already.
Absolutely. And I think I do, as a realtor, I do get DMs from a lot of people asking me that, hey, I want to get into a conversion project. And a lot of new people who are very inexperienced, who've not done duplex conversions or any sort of conversions or renovations in their life and want to get into a triplex or a fourplex. Do you think it's a viable option for someone like that whose first project is going to be a conversion?
It is, only that I would say having a duplex conversion versus a fourplex conversion, it's a way different game. The reason being, city is going to assess you on a multiplex level building code that you need to follow. Obviously, when you just put a legal basement unit, it's not the same regulations that
When you cross
applies
the
to you.
4-unit mark.
Exactly. So once you go beyond 2 units, you need to make sure that your fire separation is very solid, because you are having 4 units inside the same structure. Again, a lot of things that will come along with that kind of liability. So that's why, from the building perspective, these are the main challenges that you need to understand. And then your dollar per square foot, what you put in, will be much better, but the amount of the money that you need to put in is also high.
Most certainly. And now going back to some of the technical aspects of this particular unit, what did you do in terms of fireproofing or fire separation of this particular unit with other units? Where was the fire separation, and how was the city to deal with during that fire separation period?
Yes, great question. Few things that we came to know during this whole process is that the requirement that you need to have for your entry and exit points from the Ontario Building Code, this is something critical that you can probably look for in any property before even your acquisition. If your units are having entries and exits according to the OBC already, that's a plus point, because then you don't need to create the entry and exit points, which could be critical and sometimes not possible if it's not thought through since beginning. Then apart from the entry and exit, in this particular project we pretty much used fire rated drywall throughout the house.
Oh, beautiful.
So there is no regular half-inch
Oh, so it's all
drywall.
fire rated.
Yes, it's all, like all of the drywalls used in this particular project are 5x8.
Nice.
So that is something that we
That's amazing. So you're pretty much upholding the standard of this property.
Exactly.
And then making it a safe, rentable space for any future tenant.
Exactly.
My last question for you before we exit this unit, we're going to go out. I have a few more questions for you outside and then we'll head into the other units. So my last question out of a lot of them is, how much are you expecting rents from this particular unit when this one's finished? This is a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, beautiful location, good accessibility to highway and all of that. But how much are you expecting from it?
Yeah, so I think considering all of the upgrades and the location, we are expecting in the range of between 24 to 2600 for this particular unit. This is 3-bed, 1-bath, all stainless steel appliances.
Beautiful.
Pretty much 10 minutes from the downtown Kitchener and almost on the Highway 8. So I think that's the goal.
Awesome. And who would be your ideal tenants for this particular unit?
For this particular unit, because this is a huge unit, I think a family of 4 probably is the best tenant.
Okay.
Because we have a nice front yard here, as you can see. Right now it's not graded.
Big corner lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a corner lot and great front yard, so it's not graded right now, but once it is sorted, it's gonna look beautiful.
Awesome.
Imagine if somebody's living here with their 2 kids, they're gonna love this area.
For sure. And then again, this area currently looks in shambles. Again, don't mind me. I will judge anything and everything that I can. But I want to see what sort of vision you have with this particular area. What are you sort of giving as parking to your tenants or are planning on doing with this mud right now?
Correct, Utsav. So, great thing that you brought it up. I would like to explain and probably put some emphasis on the separation of the utility and why we need to do this. As you can probably see here, we have 4 different water lines coming in from the city curb stop. So this is not existed before. We did it all along and we decided to go ahead with this route because from the investment standpoint, so you know that having a separate utility gives you great freedom and ease of management when you are managing this property later on. So let's say if you are decided to keep this property for next 5 to 10 years, you want to have the hassle-free management as well because your renovation probably will go for 4 to 6 months, but after 4 to 6 months for next 5 years, you want to keep it so simple and easy to manage.
Seamless, basically.
So that it's much easy and seamless, exactly.
For sure.
So we decided to have the separate water line. So now each tenant will pay their own water bills.
Beautiful.
And each unit has their own water meters.
And how many parkings are you planning on making on this particular driveway?
So we are extending the old driveway. The old driveway probably can fit 2 cars in a tandem position, but it was only like 1 car wide. We are converting this into 3-car parking.
3 wide?
3 wide.
So basically 6 cars in total?
Almost 6 cars that can fit in. And that's the plan. So we are extending on the side of the tree as well as on this side, pretty much where I'm standing here.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And again, I love the fact that you separated the utilities of this particular house. As you mentioned, that it gives you flexibility as an investor and completely be passive at a point. I know, like when you have utilities that either you are paying or the tenants are splitting, essentially what happens is a lot of 2 a.m. calls. And as an investor, you want the least amount of those calls. This part of the house, it is making me the most curious. I know when I helped you buy this property, Ronak, there used to be a garage over here.
We have closed off the garage space and converted that into its own unit. And yeah, let's check out that
After
unit
you.
first.
So again, before we head in, who gets this area, access to this particular area, which is your side yard or backyard?
So we decide the way we designed the whole property and the units and their entry and exit points, pretty much every unit gets their own backyard kind of situation.
Right.
So as you can see here, this is our 4th unit, which
Okay.
is the smallest unit in the whole building.
Okay.
And this whole side yard here will be
Just for them.
enjoyed by the
Beautiful.
tenant of this unit, right? The other unit on the other side, they have their own side yard. The unit 2 and unit 1, they have the front yard.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's go right and let's check it out. So again, did this door exist, Ronak, before, or it wasn't here?
No, it wasn't here. We created this whole new door
Very nice.
entry for this particular unit,
Okay.
and that way, again, the entry and exit point requirements for the OBC is satisfied.
Got it. So I know the city is very, or the city of Kitchener, any given city is very, very picky when it comes down to the safety of these conversions. So what were the main challenges when you were building this particular unit? Because it's a studio, it's in a garage. Now you have to bring in plumbing lines, now you have to bring in the drain, now you have to do the fire separation. So walk me through the entire process of this unit and what was the math behind you figuring out that, hey, let's put a unit here along with your architect.
Yeah, also. So I will start with the challenges. Some of the challenges as a investor and as well as the builder unit to be aware about. Usually, the garage space is not insulated from the bottom, and that is something that you need to think about when you are decided to convert this unit into a garage, into a legal unit. Then you need to put the right insulation required by the OBC. And what we did, like we have the insulation at the bottom and then we poured the concrete on top of it, so that way it is leveled and nicely finished afterwards as well.
And do you also use a self leveler at the same time or
Yes.
after concrete just to make the unit flat and nice?
Exactly. Another thing, because the way the whole building is designed, there could be some potential for fire hazard that you need to be aware about. So when we did the fire separation for this particular unit, if you go into the attic space, our whole attic is also fire separated.
Oh wow.
So anything that is separating this wall to the next unit, there is no chance that
So
the
you
fire...
basically have drywalls in the attic as well?
Exactly. It
Oh,
is
wow.
fire separated via the fire rated drywall.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Cool. Tell me more about this unit. What are your plans with the unit? Since it's a compact unit and it's a compact rental, who is your ideal renter or clientele for this unit? I know you've got a beautiful bathroom laid out in there. You've got a separate laundry,
Yeah.
separate heating system, separate water. Everything is separate. But who is your ideal clientele for this size of a unit?
Mostly the working individuals are the great clientele. The reason being, it's compact, but it has everything that you need. We have the separate water meter for this unit, separate panel, separate laundry, full size kitchen, which includes the dishwasher. One or two people can easily enjoy this unit for their
enough. And
tenancy.
it would also be a good idea to maybe put this one on Airbnb just so that the people are not staying for a longer basis and you're able to get a decent healthy income from this particular unit, right?
Absolutely, that is all possible. It depends on as an investor, what's your plan, how you want to use this unit for. We decided to keep it all 4 rental units and have this one for working class individuals.
Got it. No, that's amazing. And what sort of rents are you expecting from this particular unit?
So this unit, this is a kind of a bachelor unit. We are expecting in the range of 1,000 to 1,200
Got it.
per month in this
The right spot.
region.
And last question before we head out. So as I am privy to the information for the viewers who are watching, there was a garage door here basically,
Correct,
right, Ronak?
yes.
And like the garage door was wider, I believe.
Yes.
Or there was more space, but some of it went into the other unit.
That's been used for alley access for the unit
Got it.
2.
So what did you have to do to secure this, like remove this garage door? What sort of walls did you have to put, or did you just slap a vinyl and just were able to make a unit over here?
Well, the vinyl is just the aesthetic outside facade that you are looking. Before that, there is some structural component that you need to be aware about, because when you remove the garage door, You need to check whether there is a the king stud assembly is arranged previously or not. What kind of structural component that you need before you put in the drywall and the vinyl facade on the exterior side. What we did here, we had the we already had all of the structural components good to go. So then we pretty much framed it in 2x6 frame, insulated that, and then put the drywall interiorly, and then exteriorly we have the vinyl.
That's amazing. So basically, no one could ram into the garage space and just walk. Like they won't be able to drive straight into the house if they're speeding.
Oh no, not at all.
Just want to make sure that the people living in the units are safe.
Exactly. And on top of that, since you mentioned that, what we did additionally, just to be on the safe side, we have pretty much almost 2 feet height of concrete wall, which is almost
Beautiful.
like thick, 10-inch thick. So that way, what we did, like we also put a layer of a watertight solution. So that way, in case if anything happens of a flood kind of situation, we never have a issue of flooding inside the unit.
Got it. And what sort of breakdown was, have you done a breakdown on this particular unit? What would be your end expense?
So all in all, when we initially were having a conversation rather to go with the 3 bigger units or having a 4 unit. When you do the actual calculation of your cash flow and your actual investment and your return on investment, having 4th unit always come out much better, because the dollar per square feet is required to pull off. You almost get double of that.
Absolutely.
When you convert it into a legal unit.
Same space, and you now have an extra unit. Basically.
Exactly.
And how also, like again, I think this question is just mainly for the viewers who are watching this video. How much of an impact this 4th unit would have on your appraisal? Is it significant, or is the bank appraise you on the basis of your income, or is it direct comparison with properties that are similar in this neighborhood?
Technically, when you are below 5 unit, or when you don't want to go for a commercial landing, most of the time it is always a comparable approach that bank's gonna take. So imagine, in total, you are thinking how much rent you're gonna pull in, how many bedrooms you have inside the whole property, and then having a separate unit, obviously your rental yield will increase. And
Absolutely.
because your rental yield is increasing, you will be able to sustain the better mortgage, like higher mortgage.
For sure.
And you have the qualified unit. It's not just the in-law suite, it's a legal unit. So you will be qualified against like 4 unit property compared to any other 3 unit property.
Definitely. And again, you would still get the adjustments for the upgrades that you're doing in the house. And again, having 4 200 amp panels, it's significant. Like I've never seen any rental building having so many amperes in a 4plex. So collectively, you've got 800 amp service, like 200 in each.
Correct.
And you've got separate heating for each.
Yeah.
You've got, what sort of heating was in the main unit, the 3-bedroom unit?
So our main unit still uses the old furnace.
Okay.
So we decided to kept our furnace as it is, and that is the only unit powered by the furnace. So furnace used by that unit. Now this particular unit, if you noticed here, in this corner we have an assembly for the heat pump.
Okay.
And that assembly basically being used for installing the heat pump. So that's the single head heat pump. And we have a secondary heat source. If you notice here, these are the wire coming here right now.
Oh, the baseboards?
But those are the baseboard being used. So
Very
we have
nice.
one baseboard here for the living, dining and kind of a bedroom situation, and then one baseboard inside the washroom.
Beautiful, beautiful. And again, I know you went with all quality throughout the house. I know you put good tiles on the floor and good mosaic tiles on the bottom as well. It's a good thing that you're building a quality rental, unlike most investors out there. Like I know a lot of these investors out there in the market, they don't necessarily build out quality units, and that's what stops them to get the maximum potential of the property, right? Again, thank you for getting this door. I see that again you're What are all these pipes for, Ronak? And I know there's a panel, but what are all these pipes for?
Yes, so because there is no ducting required, because this unit does not have the furnace, so there is no ducting here. So in order to get the fresh air from the outside and circulate the fresh air, we have its own separate ERV system. So all of those ducts that you are seeing, those are for the ERV system.
Beautiful.
And that's the panel that we are using. So essentially the idea is that this unit will have primary heat source being the heat pump, the secondary heat source being the baseboard heater. Your cooling is handled by your heat pump itself.
Absolutely.
And then we have the airflow circulation done by the ERV system.
Nice. And then ERV, does that ERV have a inlet and outlet? Because I know in newer homes, HRV is there, but HRV is connected to your furnace, which is doing the air circulation. So how does this particular system work? Like, is there a vent that comes into the house?
Exactly, Utsav. So there are multiple ventings. There is one in the living room, there is one in the washroom, and
you mean venting by these ones, right?
Exactly.
Here?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So those are the ventings essentially that provides the fresh air.
Okay.
And then the one in the washroom sucks the stale air. And
Okay,
the idea is that it's going to circulate the air from interior and from the exterior side.
Got it.
Apart from the ERV system, so one thing that many people know in the region of Waterloo, kind of having a water softener is it's
a must.
quite essential, just because the hardness of the water here is
Absolutely.
quite high. And we decided to have 4 separate water softener for each unit as well.
That's amazing.
So
That's
this unit will have their own water softener. And same thing goes for the next important component, which is the water heater. Because we want to reduce the usage of the natural gas, we decided to go all electric.
all 4 of them.
Exactly. So for this particular one, electric tankless heater will be installed
And that goes in this corner.
in that mechanical room.
And
Yes.
would these be rentals or would you be buying them out right out?
No, we decided to go ahead and buying them out because the bought out price works much better rather than having it
Most
rental.
certainly. Most certainly. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Let's head into our next unit.
Exactly. Let's go. Utsav, let's take one pit stop. I want to show you something really interesting here. So as you can see, and you probably know this as well, when we bought this property, it has a 200 ampere service and a 100 ampere panel inside for the whole house. When we decided to go ahead with the 4 unit conversion plan, we decided to separate out pretty much water, electricity and gas for each unit.
Nice.
And that way, as we discussed, like management will be much easy. So here we have the 4 electric panel.
It looks like a multifamily. And who does these, Ronan?
So we have a licensed electrician trade as part of our construction company, and they did an amazing job. So shout out to them. But
That's amazing. That's amazing. And then what are these ones? The locked ones. There's 2 of these. One over here and one over there. What are those?
it's just the assembly of it. So this assembly here, it called the 2 gang meter assembly.
Okay.
So essentially, you have 2 meters which are ganged inside one unit.
Got it. Fair enough. No, that's amazing, man. So which unit are we going into next?
Let's go to the basement unit 2,
Sure.
and
You lead
we
the
can
way, I'll
discuss
follow you.
some things there.
For sure. It is looking amazing so far, Ronak. And Ronak, before, like while we're heading into the second unit, how do you expect like the overall project cost to be? What sort of expectation did you have, and did you went way above that, way below that? What did happen?
Yeah, so the number for the construction is something very interesting as well as critical point for most of the investors. And usually this kind of renovation, you are looking at least in the range of 100 to 130 per square feet basis,
Okay.
depending upon what you are changing. For us as a crispy potato construction, we always go above and beyond, so we decided to pretty much change everything.
Nice.
If you notice in this particular building, we have all new soffits and fascias and eavesdrop and gutters. and utility separation, and that level of massive renovation, usually you are looking in the range of probably $200 to $250,000,
Got
including everything. Again, here, because we have our own company, you are not including much of a spread for the contractor.
Most
But
certainly.
if you are finding a GC who gonna do it for you, then obviously you are looking a little bit
Absolutely.
on the
You
higher
can
side.
expect the 10% increase in price.
Exactly. Yes.
So tell me about this unit. What are you doing? And again, I love how you went quartz throughout the entire property. It's a good sign that you're taking care of the people that live in the house, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, having a quartz for us, like when we decided to have a beautiful kitchen here, we thought of having quartz is kind of a necessity in today's market, because you want a higher end of clientele as your tenant. We all know the rules of the LTPs and tenancy regulations we have in Ontario. The better clients you have as your tenants will always go much better for you on the long run, because you will have less hassles, and you will only find better clients if your product is top notch.
Absolutely.
And that's simple reasoning we went through.
And since you mentioned the LTB, landlord tenant board, I know that any units renovated or built after 2018 do not have rent control.
Correct.
Would the same apply for this basement units and the garage unit?
That is true. Essentially,
Would upstairs unit also qualify for that?
yes. Essentially, all of the units has been converted freshly, so they all considered as a out of rent control.
Got it. Cool. That's pretty amazing. And let's check out the bedrooms, the bathroom now. See, just sort of what sort of structure you've built, and again we'll talk about the numbers at the end. So tell me, what is this space?
So this unit has one full bedroom and a one den,
Okay.
along with one washroom.
Okay.
So this space is the full bedroom here. As you can see, we have decided to keep the panel inside the bedroom, but we have the nice boxes
Cabinetry in
around
there.
it,
Nice.
so that it doesn't look bad when you're sleeping inside this room.
Absolutely.
And-
Again, then all of these still at 200 amps service.
Correct.
That's amazing. And what was your intention behind putting 200 amps in
So-
each unit?
200 ampere, pretty much kind of requirement when you decide to go ahead with all electric. Reason being, when you have a, let's say, electric tankless heater, it's gonna be on a very higher amperage. The heater alone will take lot of ampere from your panel that you cannot sustain with 100 ampere.
Okay. Okay.
And that will also future proof you in case in future if you want to add any other electrical component, you don't need to worry
Even
about
an extension on the
upgrading.
top.
Exactly, right? So you don't need to worry about upgrading your panel later on,
For sure.
and that just gives you better.
Cool. So looks like there's a laundry outlet in here as well. So you're doing laundry in here, and then the upstairs, is this the upstairs furnace?
Yes, that is the furnace being used for the upstairs unit,
Okay.
and this is kind of a mechanical area. We gonna fit lot of component here. So this is the laundry. This is the furnace for the upstairs unit. We have the ERV system for this particular unit installed here, and then we have the laundry for this unit being installed here as well.
Okay, nice. Okay, so this is more like a mechanical room.
Exactly.
Got it. And then you've got the bathroom on this end. Again, nice, beautiful shower and like vanities. Good job with the bathrooms, honestly, and the kitchens. And then this, I assume, would be your den.
Yes, that's a small den. Now we decided to go ahead with the den. Depends on how you want to use it. We want to have a den for this unit because the square footage allows us to have a den, but we do not have that much square foot where we can include the full scale bedroom. But having a den is great because people can use it for
Home
office,
exactly.
and they can.
I think most people have guests visiting or something, so it's always a good idea to keep that, right?
Correct, yeah.
Do you want to head into our
Let's
last
go to
unit?
our last unit,
Sure.
where we did the separate entrance.
I'll
I want
follow
to show you the separate entrance, and
Absolutely.
we can talk more.
Let's go from the front of the house, just so that way we are able to capture the size of the lot, the investment that you did, particularly on this property and making such a huge unit, and just we're able to see the scale of the entire property, right? So if you
Absolutely.
can see, like again, when the first time I remember when we saw this particular property, one of the things that was the most beautiful part of it was this corner lot. Uh, Huge lot, tons of land, tons of opportunity, good neighborhood, family friendly, good schools. So what is next for you after this property? Like what are you trying to getting into, or do you have more projects lined up?
So one thing that I'm seeing recently in the market right now is that this scale of conversion projects are working much better for the dollar that you put in and the rewards that you're getting at the end of it. Most of the investors that I know of, and even for myself, I think in the current market situation, going for the conversion project make absolute sense, because it allows you to get the right rental yield, as well as your investment works out much better. You cash flow positive, so you don't need to worry about the mortgage and the stress that it brings with.
Absolutely.
So I think having a conversion project probably of this scale, or maybe in a better scale. So in the city of Toronto, they allow up to 5 unit, 4 unit in the main building and the ADU as a garden suite or a laneway suite.
Auxiliary building, yeah.
So those are amazing project basically.
And one question while we're here, like that just popped up in my mind. How is this unit going to have access? Like, are you pouring concrete here, or are you pouring concrete anywhere, or you don't need to?
Yes, so you need to have a kind of an walkway from the footpath essentially.
Okay.
So as you can see here, we have this landing that we created. We're gonna create the whole walkway path that connects to the
Concrete over there.
footpath, and that way they have the access directly to this basement unit. Now this
Absolutely.
unit is kind of a little bit interesting because we decided to create a full scale below grade entrance for this unit. So as you can see, we have almost like 11-12 steps, and it's a full scale below grade entrance that we
That's
need to create for entry and exit requirement of this unit.
For sure. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's a big side separate entrance.
Yeah.
All right. So last unit. Tell me about it. Go crazy. Tell me everything, including rents, including like what was the imagination or the vision behind building this particular unit.
So this unit, it's a legal 2-bed unit. Both of the bedrooms are on this side. We have a one full washroom, and then this is kind of an living, dining and kitchen area. For this particular unit, we are expecting rent in the range of 18 to 1900.
Okay.
Considering 2 bedrooms.
Very doable.
The one that we saw, 1 bedroom plus den, we are looking in the range of 16 to 1800.
Okay.
Yes, as we discussed earlier, same plan, like the refrigerator will be going here and the laundry will go
Got it.
here.
And then I see something that I've seen in the older houses, these windows. Tell me more about these. Like I want to know what was the motivation behind putting these ones in instead of normal windows.
Yeah, so those are that's something that we learned along the project as well. Essentially, when you have a 4 unit inside a building, remember I had mentioned about having the entry and exit points that you need to make sure that you have from the fire code as well as the Ontario building code. So what's happening, essentially anything that is coming in the range of 10 feet of your main entrances, you have to fire separate them.
The windows too.
Everything, windows or doors, whatever it is, because these windows are in the proximity of the upper unit 1's main entry and exit.
Got it.
So that's why we have to do the fire rated windows here. And when it comes to the fire rated window, you have 2 options. You can go for a
traditional vinyl.
Traditional fire rated window.
Okay.
That is basically having a steel frame and a wire mesh glass.
Got it.
So that is also a possibility. But we found that that is much expensive compared to these glass blocks. Glass blocks is your alternative solution that you can go along as a creating a fire separation
And
or
what
fire rated
sort
windows.
of cost difference would come in a window like this? Let's say, how much would a window like this cost?
A window of glass block you are looking of this size, probably you are looking in the range of 800 to 1300
And
per window basis.
what about the steel mesh window?
The steel mesh window probably in the scale of 2500.
Oh wow, so it's more than 2.5 times.
Exactly.
Almost. Wow. Okay, no, that makes sense, and it's got a good appeal to it as well. So that's amazing. And then again, we've got 2 bedrooms in here, a bathroom, and then this one also comes in with its own heat pumps, HRV, sump pump, and then all of the mechanicals in this room.
Exactly.
So you've done a good job tucking this one in, just because it gives the unit an open concept feel, right?
Yeah, exactly. That way everything is hidden inside its own room, and we don't need to worry about the aesthetic of the unit essentially.
Awesome. And now, Ronak, my final few questions for you. But I do want to go outside in the sun just to ask you those questions on a breakdown on the numbers.
Yeah.
So let's go out. You've done a marvelous job with this property.
Thank you.
With the amount of upgrades, the amount of attention to detail that you have given to this property. And I know from the day when we started looking for a property for you where we can convert it to a 4-plex from a single family, it was a challenge on its own because not all properties are meant for that.
Correct.
But this particular property looks like it was meant for that. And I know you have another project in your pipeline that you're working towards doing something very similar.
Yeah.
So now I do want to break down on the numbers because I'm very curious. I'm an engineer, I'm a business person, so I do want to know the numbers on what sort of expenses were there, what is your sort of profit after finishing the entire thing. Break down for me from start, from buying the property to holding the property to renovating the property, and what's expectations for after the renovations are completed and you go back to the bank and refinance this property, and what would be your cash flow then?
Absolutely. So, great question. For any investor, I think to have such a project, the main thing any investor would look for is the numbers. Let me break down the whole number things into 3 main components. The first is your acquisition. And kudos to you, we were able to find this amazing deal. And thank you for doing that. We got this property for 750,000, and from then we put like a 20% down payment for the bank, whatever it requires. With closing cost, you are looking in the range of probably 170 to 180 for your acquisition cost. Then comes your holding, because when you acquire the property, then obviously you're gonna go for the city to get the right permits.
Absolutely.
Your designs, you're gonna work out with your designer to achieve the right potential for your property, and that will take some time. So you need to hold your property between all this permitting and the designing phase of conversion. And there are 2 options for this holding. Either you can have a short-term rental kind of situation so that you get some cash flow during that period of time, or you can wait and you decide that we don't want to have it on the rental and just keep it empty for that period of time.
Definitely.
We decided to keep it empty because we want to we do not want to get into the hassle of the LTPs and not having the tenant evict the property for the renovations afterwards. So holding cost for this particular property are roughly in the range of $55,000 to $60,000
Okay.
for a year, because for 6 months we waited for the permit. For next 5 months we are renovating the whole project. So you are looking in that range of 1 year, 1 month probably around that timeline. And then the third part, which is the construction. Construction, it varies quite heavily, because that is the piece which depends on a lot of factors. Who you are hiring as your contractor or your GC, what kind of renovation you are expected to do, because for construction it's pretty much like a wide sea open for you.
It is.
You can pretty much change everything,
Mm-hmm.
or you decide to do the minimalistic renovation
just
that
get it up and
required
running.
to required to do, and just get along with that.
Right.
So it depends on your budget as well as your choices of what kind of renovation you want to do. For this particular project, we spent almost in the range of $210,000 to $240,000
Okay.
for all renovation. And as we mentioned earlier, because we have our own renovation or construction
It's
company,
significantly cheaper for you.
cheaper for us.
Because you don't have a necessary margin on that.
Exactly.
So now that I collect, you had $750,000 for the purchase price, then you had $50,000 for your holding cost. We're looking at around 160, 170,000 for acquisition and down payment. So let's take as $170,000
Yeah.
for example, and then $50,000 for your holding cost.
Correct.
So 50, it makes it $220,000.
Exactly.
Plus around $200,000.
I would say 200 to 230.
230. So safely assuming $450,000 is what you invested on this property,
Exactly.
and it takes you up to total, I would say somewhere around $1 million in expenses, give or take.
Yeah.
$1 million in expenses.
Expenses. Yeah.
What are you expecting that this property would appraise at? And based on your knowledge, based on your past experience, what do you think this property would appraise at after you refinance it?
So we are expected to appraise that between 1.2 to 1.4 million.
Okay.
Because in this region and in this area, normally the triplexes goes in around like 1 to 1.1 million. So having a 4-unit and 4-plex kind of a property, you are expected to do between like 1.2 to 1.4 million.
Got it.
Let's assume that it's 1.3 million. So that's pretty much your cash out valuation.
Got it.
And since beginning, we decided to have a full BRRRR kind of a project. So if you
It's
do the
doable.
math, probably at 1.3 million valuation,
You're
your
at the
maths
BRRRR
will
level.
work out much better.
Absolutely. And have you done an initial assessment on the appraisal yet? Like, have you done a between the renovation appraisal already?
Yes, so we are in the talk of appraisers, and currently it looks like we are about to get almost 1.4 million valuation
That's
for this
amazing.
property.
That's pretty solid. And congratulations to you on executing such a beautiful project. And again,
Thank you.
at the end, it's all about recycling your money. According to me, I think that if you're able to use the same money over and over, you don't necessarily need to go out and find new money.
Correct.
And your employment income or your actual business can still continue running, and you can continue fueling your projects from the projects.
Exactly.
So what sort of cash flow are we expecting? Let's say if you refinance it around 1.2, 1.3 million mark at 80% LTV, loan to value. What are you expecting for cash flow on this house?
So for this particular project, our expected rent is in the range of 6,900 being the lowest one, all combined, all 4 units, to maximum of $7,500.
Okay.
So that's the range that we are expecting. Let's assume that we are getting the rent of around 7,100 on a monthly basis. With that rent and considering the new appraised value and everything, you are looking in the range of probably $400 to $800 cash flow
Okay.
after refinance.
After refinance. So you
Exactly.
basically have all your money out and you're still able to cash flow.
Exactly.
Got it. And Ronak, that makes it a good investment because now you can hold it for the next 20 years or plan it to hold for the next 20 years, pay down your entire mortgage.
Correct.
And sort of like this could be passed on to your kids, or you could sell this investment in the meanwhile and buy something much bigger. What is next for you? Like, are you trying to stay in the category of 3 to 5 units, or are you trying to scale beyond the 5 units and going into serious multiplexes like 10 plus units, or anything that requires a much more significant scale of renovations or new builds?
That makes sense. Also, I think for us, for this 2 to 3 years, we decided to lay down the strong foundation for having such a solid property which can convert much better and gives us the right foundation go to the bigger projects. So our 2 to 3 year goal is to have little bit bigger conversion than this one, probably go into the 5 unit that we are talking about in Toronto area or anywhere in the southern GTA or a southern Ontario. After that, obviously on the longer horizon, we can probably expand our reach to the bigger units, go beyond 5 units, maybe in the 10 unit and new build conversion projects.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So Ronak, this has been an absolute pleasure. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you about this particular house, and understanding what you did was just immense amount of knowledge. And I know I, as a realtor, get a lot of requests for helping people or explaining them what sort of numbers work out, and this video I know is going to be monumental for people understanding everything. So for all the people, I just want to tell them that if there is someone out there in the market who is looking for a project of this sort and are even trying to do a smaller conversion than this or a bigger conversion than this, Ronak here brings over 5 to 7 years of experience and has done a tons of projects. Ronak has experience on the ground, on the boots, has experience on the papers, and I know I learn a lot from him even though I help him buy these properties. But if you are someone who is trying to getting into the conversion game, particularly conversion or even building, I would say, reach out to us. I'm gonna attach a link below in my bio for a Calendly link that will either give you a chance to speak with myself or Ronak to understand how you can execute a project like this and how you can make the most out of your investment doing conversions. Ronak, if you have anything else to say, go ahead please.
No, I think also recently I've been talking to one of my other investor friend who mentioned and pretty much wrapped up the current economic situation of Canada, of world. We all know what kind of economic situation we are going through right now. But he said that a great investor never fear in the situation of a slowdown and never get too happy in the situation of bull run. So this is something that you need to probably understand as an investor, that your ideal deals always exist in any market.
Absolutely.
As long as you have the right metric to find for it.
Absolutely. And I like, as just like your friend, I've been like, I read a lot of books and came across someone who went through the 2008 crash.
Correct.
And that other person also happens to be an investor. So what they mentioned in their book was a lot of these people, realtors, investors, they said that 2008, 2007 was the worst year of their life, while this investor had the best year of his life, because he was like, when the market was unstable, I was like, this is my time for opportunities.
Correct.
And let's go find an opportunity. So for anyone out there, there's money to be made in every market, like in a high market and a low market. And for an investment like this, the value of something like this continues to go up regardless of the market situation. Even if the rents are falling, Ronak is still cash flow positive. I know Ronak, you own a bunch of investment properties from Windsor to Toronto, and most of your investments are cash flow positive.
That is correct, yeah.
So it's super easy, and if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, then reach out in the comments below and I'll personally respond to you all. To see more content like this, like, share and subscribe to my channel. And we've got more and more exciting projects coming just like this one. Part 2 of this project is also releasing next month, so stay tuned.